omitted that from their plan to their kitchen contractor, so he put in a normal cupboard and a normal door. Same shots again, obviously duplicates. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Actually, what's happened is, I remember now, I was taking photographs at weekly periods, so these same shots that you see are sort of 1 week time intervals, and they're time-stamped, some of them at the bottom, depending upon which mobile phone camera I took the photograph with. But that was just for me to build up a chronology of their inaction, and that's backed up by documentary evidence that I had called and the conversations that we had. And so this is maybe a couple of weeks later, same thing. They still persist. And at this point, I had no hot water or heating because the boiler was throwing up fault codes on the LED panel on the boiler, which they refused to acknowledge. In the end, I had to ring the manufacturer, who advised me to go to their website, which Barratt and their plumbing contractors could also have done. From there, I found the manual for the boiler, looked up the LE problem code, which suggested a PCB error. I then reported this to Barratt a number of times before saying that they would be liable for my mortgage payments for the best part of 2.5 months, because that's how long it took for them to come around and eventually replace the PCB on the boiler. And when they managed to do that, they proclaimed that there had never ever been a problem. Myself, having seen the saleswoman in the sales office record my complaint a number of times and fax it through in front of me to their office, to their customer services department. Again, in action. And here we have, after the purchase of my home, fair to say I hadn't moved in because of the boiler issue, but I didn't mind builders and their contractors really parking on my drive, but unfortunately they did leave nasty oily stains, which till today, 18 months on, haven't been removed, along with the various cement stains from when the site was undergoing construction. They have not been removed either. This is a chap's fan again. And here we have some doors for the integrated washing machine and dishwasher that were actually delivered before my complaining to Barratt that I didn't have any. And when they were delivered, unfortunately, these are the two doors on the top here. That's a spare one that didn't actually fit anywhere in the kitchen, so I don't know why it was here. But they were actually very badly damaged on the corners, so they were taken away by the site staff and put into the site skip. And the box you see on the bottom is the standard sized carcass and doors for the integrated fridge freezer that you'd get from Philips or Zanussi or Hotpoint or whatever. The top bottom fridge freezer arrangement. That's some cornice that was delivered and then taken back by the site staff because it was surplus. Again, door remains unfitted, and this is the damage on the doors that I spoke about. So obviously they were delivered probably in pristine condition and then at some point dragged along the ground. And not really suitable for fitting in a new kitchen, I would say. That's a better close-up of the damage to the doors. So obviously they were returned, but much to my detriment because the kitchen range was then discontinued, and I'm left without those doors. Here's another shot of the garden, somewhat later, and you can see the fence isn't straight. It is along the back here, and can't see the other side, but that's perfectly aligned. But it's not straight here. The post has kind of come loose in the ground, and if you look, you can it basically follows the dip the earth there. So if you examine this section a bit more closely, you will see how the earth is dipping if you look at the shadows along the lawn. And the grass is quite long here, so it is difficult to discern, but there is a definite issue there. Same shot again. This is a meter reading. The barratt basically failed in their duty to record the readings on the meters for the gas and the electric prior to or on completion, and then to give them to the electricity and gas company E.ON. So we subsequently, all neighbours that I've spoken to, which is about 40 out of 100 so far, have been charged for the electricity and gas that barratt was actually responsible for. This is on moving in. Basically, this is my first hoover of the living room carpet, and this is basically builders' dust and plastic wrappings and other things. And with new carpets, you expect some carpet strands to be sucked in, but this is allegedly after the cleaners had been, and the carpet was, well, as was the rest of the house, very filthy. So I had to get my own cleaner in and basically have the house cleaned from top to bottom. This is just a shot out of the window. And somewhat later in summer of 2008, I was informed that the remediation work on mine and two of my neighbours' homes hadn't been certified, and that's to do with soil contamination or potential soil contamination, where they take away 300 ml of topsoil and replace it with 300 ml of good topsoil, for which they need to provide a certificate, which the council tells me they still haven't done to date. We're now in September 2009. So they basically dug mine and my neighbours' gardens up in the summer. And this is the rainy summer we had in 2008, if you remember. And because of the rain and basically their contractors being busy elsewhere, my neighbours' gardens were left like this for the best part of a month, unsightly, highly unsightly, and highly unusable. Eventually they agreed to come and replace the tiles that you saw earlier on that were poorly cut and misaligned, and in doing so they seemed it appropriate to lay the toilet in the middle of our lounge, and there it lay for the best part of 4 days. There we go, there's another shot right next to the leather sofa. Lovely. Fantastic. Who needs TV? This is when the barratt came around to replace the first worktop that was warped. In doing so, they managed to damage my brand new fridge, which, to their credit, they replaced. But they managed to break the connectors on the corner sofa, which they didn't replace, but it's no big deal. And this is a shot of when they relayed the turf. This is the turf after 2 days. It was blazing hot part of the summer by then, and they told me that when they relayed the turf, they'd have a workman come in every day for 2 weeks to water the lawn. But 2 days in, nothing had been done. My outside tap didn't work, so nothing could be watered with any great effect. I did try with a watering can, but it just was not happening. And this is the same shot of the grass again, and this is the same shot of the grass again. And you can see how badly the new turf suffered. I eventually got them to fix the tap, which they did. It's still quite leaky, but it works at least, and I had to then go and buy a timed sprinkler so that I could I spent the first 2 weeks actually watering the garden myself, half an hour every single day. It's probably more on 3 weeks actually, and then after which I went and bought a timed water sprinkler which would help me do the job. So this is the grass after about 3 or so weeks from the shots that you saw below earlier on. Sorry, you can see where it's died of 100 homes, but it's slowly coming back to